A big reveal was just made regarding John Cena and Dua Lipa, so we'll see what's going on there. We'll also check out the big moves that Becky Lynch just made, what's going on with Finn Balor, and much more. Let's start things off with some interesting developments in the Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus story. Becky and Trish's feud, of course, kicked off with that big heel-turning moment from Trish Stratus, when she attacked Becky Lynch post-match on Raw. That attack was of course followed up with Trish's great explanation promo, where Trish explained that she was basically plotting everything from the very start and waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike. Her main issue was that she felt like she was fully responsible for putting women's wrestling on the map and wanted to remind everyone of that fact. A lot of fans often say that, oh, Trish and Lita first brought eyes to the women's division. Well, Trish's response to that statement is that it was just Trish Stratus who made people care about women's wrestling, not Lita. So it wasn't like Trish and Lita were working together here to go after Becky Lynch. It wasn't like that at all. Lita was legitimately jolly and happy with her role alongside Becky Lynch. But it was Trish who was secretly disgusted with both Lita and Becky the entire time. So she attacked both of them on the same night and revealed her true intentions. The big point to point out here is that both Becky Lynch and Lita haven't been seen on Raw since they were both taken out by Trish Stratus several weeks ago. Now things have been pretty quiet on Lita's side. She hasn't been seen since the attack, hasn't made a comment, or anything of that sort. WWE hasn't really provided much storyline context for what's going on with Lita. The popular fan theory and explanation is that Lita may be missing in action for a while, but maybe there's a chance she makes a return once she recovers from the attack to take on revenge on her former best friend, Trish Stratus. Not only does it make perfect logical sense within the storyline, it'll also be a great way for us to see what could be one last singles match between Trish Stratus and Lita. Trish and Lita have been putting on classic matches with each other decades upon decades ago. So to have the ability to see Trish and Lita one last time in 2023 would be a pretty iconic moment. Reports claim that there's no solid plan set in stone for Lita to make a return and be used within the Trish and Becky storyline. So we'll have to see if there is a chance and if Lita will be brought back into the storyline sometime down the line. But switching back to someone that we know for sure will be back for Trish Stratus, let's talk about Becky Lynch. Becky's missed a few weeks of Raw, but a lot of fans have realized that Becky is still trying to continue the storyline, even through social media. Fans noticed that Becky Lynch unfollowed every single major woman in the women's wrestling industry on Instagram. From her fellow co-workers to women in the industry that weren't even with WWE anymore, like Mercedes Moné. She just unfollowed all of them and cleaned them out from her following list. And then, for a short amount of time, Becky's Instagram bio read DTA, which of course is an abbreviation of Don't Trust Anybody. So even though we haven't physically seen or heard from Becky Lynch on Raw in several weeks, she's still advertising the story through Instagram, which is pretty amazing, and does show you that commitment that Trish and Becky are bringing to this storyline. They're going all out and even advancing it outside the ring. So Becky's giving everyone bits and pieces to how she feels right now. She was betrayed and attacked by one of her favorite icons in WWE history. So she's extremely hurt just from an emotional point of view. And telling by her action of unfollowing every woman in the wrestling industry, we can see that she's definitely experiencing trust issues. Becky feels like if Trish did that to her, then she really can't trust a single soul. And that's why she started cutting off contact with everyone. And like we talked about before, in reality, Becky Lynch is reportedly dealing with a minor foot injury. But within the storyline world, Becky isn't injured at all. So it's not like Trish beat Becky down so bad that Becky Lynch still can't make it to her feet and come to Raw. It doesn't seem to be like that at all. It looks like Becky Lynch's chapter, for whatever reason, is purposely staying away and skipping out on Raw. Like we saw from her tweet from a few weeks ago, she just announced that she wasn't showing up to Raw. So, at least within the story, it doesn't appear to be injury related. She's probably just trying to get herself together emotionally before making her eventual return to Raw. And the more that Becky remains away from Raw, the more hype will be built up around her return. Fans are really wondering if Becky Lynch could return with a slightly new persona when she comes back from this mini hiatus. Becky Lynch has been back to her man persona ever since she returned in late 2022, but after suffering such a big betrayal like this, it only makes sense for it to have a big effect on Becky's character. Some fans are wondering if the Trish Stratus betrayal will make Becky Lynch really dig down deep to get her back to the 2018-2019 self. Some fans may even say that the 2018 to 19 timeframe for Becky Lynch was the most intense persona, where she was extremely serious about her business and having no friends at all. So what happened with Trish does really sound like it could revert Becky Lynch back into that lone wolf mentality that no longer counts with anyone and has no friends. But if Becky Lynch is going to count with anyone and bring in some backup to deal with Trish Stratus, it only makes sense for that backup to be Lita, because Lita has a score to settle there with Trish as well. So this story is looking very promising right now. It looks like the next big moment from this feud will of course be that big return from Becky Lynch. Greta Gerwig's Barbie movie is one of the most anticipated films of the summer, and the movie really made some waves when they announced some more surprise members of the cast, even including WWE's John Cena. John Cena's role in the movie was kept a secret until just a few weeks ago, so it was quite the surprise. But during a recent film conversation, Warner Bros. Provided some intel and information on some of the roles for their star-studded cast. They revealed that John Cena's role in Barbie will be him portraying a merman opposite of Dua Lipa's mermaid character. So it was a crossover that no one saw coming. But telling by the Warner Bros. Reveal about the film, it looks like John Cena and Dua Lipa will be paired up as a couple in the movie later this summer. We previously talked about how it looked like we were seeing very early stages of tension, possibly rising within the Judgment Day. That all started when Damian Priest was the one to shake hands with Paul Heyman and confirm the alliance with the Bloodline. Finn Balor seemed extremely disgusted and frustrated about that decision and how he didn't have much to say in what happened there. Well, the April 24th edition of Raw included another one of these short little moments of Finn's frustrations. Cathy Kelley walked up to Damian Priest to ask him about Bad Bunny and everything that was happening there. And Finn was extremely offended that Cathy just ignored him and acted like he was invisible. Finn was very upset just by being ignored like that, while Damian Priest got all the attention and questions. And now, Damian Priest even has the big match and story going with Bad Bunny. So is Finn getting a little jealous there? Finn Balor has also posted a graphic of himself with a new World Heavyweight Championship on Twitter. So it's clear what Finn's goal is right now. But will someone like Damian Priest get in the way of that goal? It's definitely an interesting situation to keep an eye on. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.